Hi everyone, welcome to today's video, which is instruction on how to provide application clarification um, when your submission is being scored. It may or may not come up that the reviewers of the application need more questions answered in order to score it. And this scenario covers how you can submit answers to those questions. So the first thing that will happen is if clarification is needed on your application, you're going to get an email from the system that looks similar to this one. This is a test account, a test email, so the sender might be slightly different. But it's going to say, the Recreation Grants team is reviewing your grant application and needs clarification. Please log in, look under My Tasks, and don't reply to the email, but ask, feel free to ask us if you have any questions. So once you receive this email, at that point, what you need to do is prepare to log into the system and answer the questions. Generally, most programs have a tight deadline about how long you have to answer these questions. So you can expect, usually around 7 days. So you're going to want to, if you do get this email, you're going to log in pretty quickly and take care of this. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to log into the RGO 2020 system. I'm using a demo system, but functionally it'll be the same. And you won't see the opportunities option here because there's no grants currently available. You may not see anything in your inbox, but you're going to look for the area that says My Tasks, okay? In general, when using our system, if there's something that you need to do, it's going to show up here. It doesn't mean that this is every application you've ever done or anything like that. It just means of the things that I have in the system, what do I have action on? What requires action from me? So you're going to open your task list and you're going to look for the submission that has a status of application clarification needed. Okay? For most of you, all you've ever done in the system is submit an application because it's pretty new. So you're probably only going to have one task that shows up in here if in fact you're asked to provide application clarification. And in that case, what you'll do is you'll click the link to the application itself right here. Okay? And these are the forms in your application. Now you won't be able to re-edit or resave any of the forms, and you'll also notice that your budget form is not viewable during this stage. That's because due to the sensitive nature of how budget requests are approved, we actually have areas of that budget details page that we need to edit and enter the approved amounts. So that there's not double saving of that form, it can't be available to you during this stage. But what you're going to want to look for is the area that says application clarification. Okay? You're going to open this form, all right? And you're going to see the questions that are required from the reviewers in this top area, right? I've got a few samples here, and it'll say clarification required. Question 1, explain your project. Question 2, explain your budget. Question 3, verify your status. Whatever those are, right? And then there may be another prompt that says provide the following uploads in the corresponding areas. Now, I've already saved a little information in this form, but in general, what you're going to want to do, you have a text box here with 8,000 characters as the limit, and you're going to want to answer the questions that are asked of you in the clarification. Below that, you're going to have an area that has a place where you can upload files. Okay, so if you're asked to provide an upload here, you're going to want to come to these areas and provide the corresponding upload. To do that, you simply choose your file, and then you can choose whichever item that you prefer. You can attach it, and it'll show up here. You'll then have to name that item, right? So let's say I'm providing an updated personnel list. I'll choose my file, and I'm going to choose this, a random document, right? Doesn't really matter what it is, but I'm telling the person that's going to receive this form what that document is. When I've made these changes here and produce my uploads, or even before that, I can save this form, okay? I can continue to save the form as I work on it. If I have to go get more items, every time I come back in, it's going to appear in my task list because I haven't changed the status of it yet, all right? When I'm done, okay, when I provided all of the application clarification that I have available, I'm going to open the Forms menu again where I see everything. I've got my application here, and I'm simply going to status change this back to Submit Clarification, all right? And that's all. At that point, whoever's reviewing this grant will get a notification that the clarification has been provided, and they can log in and see it. Now, if I want to know for sure that I've submitted it, there's a few key ways I can know that I've done that. A, the only status I can choose is to withdraw my application. I don't want to do that, right? And then in the details area, the current status is back to application and review. It has moved out of application clarification needed, and it's back to review. The final way to check is that if I go back to my home screen, it won't appear in my task list anymore because currently I don't have anything else I can do on that. I've provided what they wanted me to do, and I have submitted those materials that I provided by changing the status to clarification submitted. So that is a really brief overview of how to provide clarification for your application. Again, feel free to email us at rec.grants@tpwd.texas.gov, or you can call our main office and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.